Chapter 784. Brother and sister finally meet. Grandmother. Luoli pouted. My cousins only know about cultivation, and they do not have any compassion toward women. If Xiaoqing chooses one of my cousins, she would surely be bullied and wronged. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Those men have never had any notions of romance or love. They are hard like steel. We should find a companion who can warm the heart of a lady like Xiaoqing. It's fine even if my nephews are unsuitable for her. I still can recommend her some of the children of my husband's relatives. If it's really that difficult, we can look up all the families we have from the previous 18 generations. I don't believe that there's not even one person who is suitable for her. Luoli was speechless. She felt that her grandmother had gone insane just to be someone's matchmaker. Feng Ruching smiled slightly. Thank you for your kind thoughts. But I only love him. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Oh. Old Lady Luo sighed again with a tinge of regret. It seemed to her that her family did not have a chance. Young Lady Xiaoqing, you must consider the choices I have offered you if you want to get married. Are the parents of the man you love still alive and healthy? What about their characteristics? One's future in-laws are important too. You must not let yourself be bullied or wronged. Old Lady Luo really cared deeply about Feng Ruching then. It might be because of Feng Ruching's act in sharing with her the prescription to cure her illnesses, or it might be because of Feng Ruching's resemblance to Tianya. Feng Ruching lowered her eyes. After a short while, she smiled and said, he comes from a single family. His mother is still alive. She treats me very well. His father is dead. That was right. Mu Ling was as good as dead to Nan Xian and Su Yi. It was true that Nan Xian came from a single-parent family. Then it's good. The old lady smiled happily. Xiao Liar, we'll return to the Luo family later. Don't disturb young lady Xiaoqing. But you're welcome to visit us anytime at the Luo family. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Grandmother? Luoli turned and looked at the old lady helplessly. Didn't we promise each other that we'll leave the Luo family together for good? That's when I thought that I'll live no longer. I have the cure now. How could I allow that woman from the Qin family to take over the Luo family? Old Lady Luo seemed weak now, but she still kept her dignity just like when she was young. Moreover, the Luo family was built up by her husband. He'll never allow anyone to take over it so easily. All right. Luo Li's excitement subsided. She thought that she would never have to return to the Luo family ever again. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If I don't return with my grandmother, she would totally be infuriated with Qin Xiaoye if I let her go home alone. Luo Li seemed to remember something. She turned and looked at Feng Ruching. Xiaoqing, they'll bring Qin Chen to you. Qin Chen? The old lady was stunned. Are Feng Ruching and Qin Chen related? In fact, the old lady did not have any bad impression on Qin Chen. He had always been cold and distant, but he seemed like a cold breeze in the Qin family. The old lady could never really hate Qin Chen, and it might be because of the fact that Qin Chen did not have any blood ties with them. She even thought of arranging a marriage between Luo Li and him. That young man is a pitiful person too. The old lady did not speak thoughts in front of Feng Ruching. She also did not voice out her doubts. She held onto her crutch and said, Liar, come, let's go home. Feng Ruching did not say anything more up until that moment. She looked in the direction where the old lady had left with Luo Li. Her eyes were gentle. Chainer, we're able to meet again at last. The old lady stopped walking when they were out of the manor. She frowned slightly. Liar, what is the relationship between young lady Xiaoqing and Qin Chen? Chapter 785. Oh, Qin Chen might be the man she loves. Luo Li suddenly remembered something just after she answered her grandmother's query. Her small face appeared shocked. No, she mentioned that the man's mother is alive. But Qin Chen is only an adopted son. It's not related to what she has said. Sponsored content. Remove ads? If that's the case, it would be better. Qin Chen is not suitable for young lady Xiaoqing. Why? Luo Li seemed shocked. Didn't you have a good impression on Qin Chen? Xiao Liar, there are a lot of things in the Qin family. You won't understand. The Qin family is just like a deep tiger's den to her unless Qin Chen leaves the Qin family for good. Although I have thought about arranging a marriage for the two of you, What I had in mind was that Qin Shun would leave the Qin family and come to be a part of the Luo family. It's because you're the only heiress of the Qin family, and he could avoid being harmed by those people from the Qin family if he joins our family. The old lady laughed bitterly. But it is different for young lady Xiaoqing, unless Qin Shun leaves the Qin family. Otherwise, it will be a total disaster if she marries Qin Shan. She's so nice and beautiful. Surely, I'm unwilling to see her endure all those sufferings. But our Luo family is not bad too. Are we unable to protect her? Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. The old lady glanced at Luo Li meaningfully. If your grandfather were still alive and healthy, if I was still powerful, if your father is not being charmed by that vixen, all things would have been possible. But how can we protect her given our state now? Luo Fei was the most powerful person in the entire Luo family. Sponsored content remove ads? However, Luo Fei had fallen for Qin Xiaoya. Now, Luo Fei could oppose me for Qin Xiaoya's sake. It's impossible that he would bother himself with that. However, Luo Li was different. Luo Li was still Luo Fei's daughter no matter what. If she was bullied by her parents-in-law, surely Luo Fei would not be quiet about it. So, the people from the Qin family would not bully her so much. It was what the old lady had in mind. Luckily, the person young lady Xiaoqing loves might not be Qin Shan. If that's the case, I'm relieved. Grandmother, Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. Even if the man Xiaoqing loves is not Qin Shun, we can do nothing if the Qin family prohibits Qin Shun from getting in touch with Xiaoqing. Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruqing had helped Luo Li for quite a few times now. Luo Li wanted to return the favor, too, this time. Old Lady Luo stopped in her path and laughed bitterly. We owe young lady Xiaoqing for saving my life. Surely I'll not leave her behind. We'll see how things are in the future. It's the best if we could kick Qin Xiaoya out of the Luo family. If she's not there to instigate Luo Fei to do bad things, Luo Fei would never be unfilial toward me. Luo Fei breathed a sigh of relief softly. What if her grandmother was on her side? Everything was possible. Otherwise, they would just have to cause a really bad scene and threaten him into obedience with their lives. If he still could not care less about them, he would be infamous for indirectly causing the death of his mother and daughter. We'll see how he will react. At the Qin family, sponsored content remove ads? In the manor, it was peaceful and quiet. A young man stood next to the lake with a hand behind his back. His silhouette seemed tall. It was a thin and lean figure. It seemed that his handsome face was covered with layers of frost. He appeared so cold and distant. But he had a pair of eyes that were crystal clear. They were even purer than the water in the lake. They were just like the pure sky. Chainer, a soft voice was heard from behind him. The young man subconsciously hid the hairpin in his sleeves. He did not turn around to face the person who had spoken to him. He did not even turn his head. Qin Fei stood behind Qin Shan. There was a helpless smile on her beautiful and gentle face. Although Qin Shan was cold and distant just like before, he would at least have given her some kind of response before this. Chapter 786. But Qin Shan was not bothered about Qin Fei anymore when he was back at that time. Sponsored content remove ads? She knew that her selfish acts were the reason behind it. Her selfishness had finally hurt Chainer. But who would not be charmed by a man as strong and powerful as a god? So, she did not regret the decision that she had made. Chainer, I have brought you some food from Heaven Eye. Come and eat it while it's still warm. The young man remained quiet. It was as if he did not hear what she had just said. There was only one captivating figure in his mind now. He could not help but smile a little. However, Qin Fei was standing behind Qin Shun, so she did not see his smile. Sponsored content remove ads? Young lady, the maid, Lu Xia, was infuriated by Qin Shan's behavior. She could not help but say, he won't ever appreciate you no matter how nice you treat him. If it's not the Qin family, he would have been dead by now. He even treats you like this. He's just an ungrateful white-eyed wolf. Enough. Qin Fei's facial expression changed slightly. She scolded Lu Xia angrily. Don't bring it up anymore. We're the ones who have wronged Chainer. Those maids and servants did not know about Qin Shan's birth. But she was his elder sister and she knew. clearly, about his birth. That was why she was guilty and had even advised her parents several times now. But now, she had no choice because she wanted to be a part of the Mu family. So, she would never allow those people to bully Qin. If not, her guilt would deepen each and every day. Sponsored content remove ads? The smile on Qin's face disappeared slowly. He turned around calmly. Then, he walked past Qin Fei without even glancing at her. Qin Fei was stunned. She was still holding the food containers in her hands. She was pale. There seemed to be tears in her eyes. Young lady. Lu Xia stamped her feet and said, agonized, I can't endure it anymore. It's clear that Lu Xia. Qin Fei was using a much angrier voice. She was outraged. If you treat him like that again in the future, you don't have to serve me anymore. Chainer is still my younger brother no matter what. He's still our young master. Lu Xia froze at that remark. She lowered her head and remained quiet. She still seemed angry. On top of the grievance, there was also the hatred and annoyance she had toward Qin. Sponsored content remove ads? Young master. A servant approached Qin when he walked away just now. He did not address Qin respectfully, but his voice was filled with sarcasm and contempt. The young lady from the Luo family came to meet you. Qin Fei was the only one who adored Qin in the whole household. Even the manor master and the lady treated Qin with contempt. Therefore, the servants had never respected Qin. Qin stopped walking and turned to walk toward the backyard. Qin, don't leave. The people from the Qin family did not stop Luoli given that it was a habit of her to come to the Qin family and meet with Qin Fei. Therefore, Luoli became nervous when she saw that Qin was leaving. She rushed forward and stopped him in his track. Qin, don't leave. Luoli's face was red with nervousness. She was panting. I want to meet you about something. Just come with me. You'll regret it if you don't come with me. There were too many people in the Qin family, so she could not say much there. What was important was she needed to bring Qin with her. Qin walked past Luoli toward his own room. Luoli was anxious. Her gaze fell on the hairpin in Qin's hands. Qin Fei lowered her eyes. The corner of her lips curved into a bitter smile. I'm his sister. As father and mother don't like him, I'm his dearest person in the world. Why does Qin treat me like this? Qin Fei could hardly stand upright. Her lips were trembling and tears streamed down her face. Qin Fei was Qin's dearest person in the world. Yet he was so close to Luoli and did not even allow Qin Fei to walk near him. Qin Fei had never seen Qin get so close to Luoli before. Although Qin Fei knew that both Qin and she would marry someone else, she could not accept the fact that Qin was treating another lady better than his own sister. Chapter 788. Lu Xia, don't let my parents know about this. They would never let Qin be with Luoli. Qin Fei wiped off the tears and smiled softly. Sponsored content remove ads? If Qin was truly in contact with the Luo family, then the Qin family could no longer make Qin a drug primer. Therefore, if Qin Fei's parents knew this, it would bring more harm than good to Qin. However, Qin Fei trusted Qin. Although Qin had always been cold to her, she knew that Qin cared for her. Otherwise, he would never have returned to the Qin family. Hence, even if Qin wanted to leave the Qin family with Luoli, he would not do so until Qin Fei's health had improved. All right, young lady Qin. Lu Xia pursed her lips together as she answered reluctantly. Let's go. Qin Fei glanced in the direction that Qin had left, and then turned to walk away, slowly. Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruqing was leaning lazily against a pillar of a summer house. The golden sunlight poured over. Her body was bathed in the warm, glistening rays of sunshine. Suddenly, a familiar voice spoke as if a few centuries had passed. Ching. Feng Ruqing glanced sideways only to see a stunning face appeared before her eyes. The young master before her eyes was no longer the adolescent young man. He had turned into a mature gentleman. Sponsored content remove ads? However, Feng Ruqing knew that Qin was still the boy he used to be. With a bashful smile on his face, He was sparkling clean and pure like the rising sun. Feng Ruqing got up slowly. A gust of light breeze blew. In a flash, the young master was standing before Feng Ruqing and drawing her into his arms. He missed her so badly. He could feel the warmth from her body. That was the only warmth he felt and craved. He could even leave everything behind for this. Feng Ruqing reached out to stroke Qin Chen's back gently. Sponsored content remove ads? Besides the state preceptor, no one could hug her. However, Qin Chen had always been an exception. Previously, Qin Chen was Feng Ruqing's brother in Huaxia. Simply no one could cut Qin Chen out of her life. Perhaps, Qin Chen was her kin who shared the same bloodline in this life too. Hence, she did not reject his hug. Qingqing, I missed you. I am here to take you home. Feng Ruqing's lips lifted as she patted his back. Qin Chen's body stiffened. After a while, he let go of the lady in his arms. Qingqing, would you please give me some time? I am in the middle of something. I will go home with you after I have taken care of everything. How have you been at the Qin family? Fan Ruqing raised her eyes to look at Qin Chen's face. I'm fine, don't worry. Because of you, I will not let anyone hurt me. Qin Chen's fingers slid through the strand of hair on Feng Ruqing's forehead as he broke into a bright and warm smile. Qin Chen would never let anyone hurt him, not even the slightest bit. A glimmer of wickedness flashed in his eyes, but quickly faded away as he was afraid that Feng Ruqing could feel that something was wrong. The corner of his lips curved into a smile. Standing not far away, Luoli saw the whole incident unfold before her. Her glazed eyes wandered over Qin Chen and Feng Ruqing. She did not know if Qin Chen and Feng Ruqing were in the kind of relationship that she had thought of before. However, as both of them were so close to each other just like the way Luoli and the little fox were, if Qin Chen was not Feng Ruqing's kin, he must hold a special place in Feng Ruqing's heart. Chapter 789. Luoli had never thought that Qin Chen, who had always been cold and nonchalant, could be so warm and caring. Sponsored content remove ads? Qiner, could you tell me what are you going to do? Feng Ruqing subconsciously held onto Qin Chen's hand as she asked anxiously. I want to be stronger. I want to be very strong so that no one can hurt you anymore. Qin Chen smiled. Qin Chen did not want anyone to hurt Feng Ruqing or steal her happiness because Feng Ruqing was the person dearest to him in this world. Qingqing, trust me. I am perfectly fine. No one can hurt me. Qin Chen held onto Feng Ruqing's hand tightly. You can cultivate when I'm not by your side? Feng Ruqing stared at Qin Chen for a while before she said, Sponsored content remove ads? Yeah, I can protect you one day. Not only your safety, I can protect everything that you want. All right, I trust you this time. Since you are in Tianxin Manor, I will stay here too. No matter what happens, I will face it together with you. Since Qin Chen wanted to do something, all Feng Ruqing could do was to support and trust him. She would never stop him, and she would do everything she could to help him. Luoli was standing behind both of them. Seeing this, she knew that it was not good to interrupt them. Hence, she decided to leave, silently. Just as she was about to leave, Feng Ruqing called out to her. Luoli, today thank you. No, I should thank you instead. I just helped to get him out of the Qin family, but you had saved my grandmother. Luoli turned her head around with a smile on her face. Sponsored content remove ads? Anyway, I want to thank you. I can't get close to the Qin family yet. Fortunately, you helped me out. Feng Ruqing turned her head slowly. Her eyes were fixed on Qin Chen. Chainer, if you want to meet me, you can come together with Luoli. Dumbfounded, Qin Chen did not know why Feng Ruqing had said this. Feng Ruqing held onto Qin Chen's hands tightly. After all, she could not tell Qin Chen that he might be her biological brother. It was just Feng Ruqing and Juming's guess. Simply no one knew if that was true. Currently, she could not give Qin Chen so much hope. Hence, Feng Ruqing wanted to look into it more, starting with the Qin family. Naturally, she could not let the people in the Qin family know the relationship between Qin Chen and herself. Sponsored content remove ads? Chainer, Feng Ruqing called out to Qin Chen once again. All right, I will meet you together with her. Qin Chen pursed his lips. He could never reject Feng Ruqing. Hearing this, Luoli was overjoyed as she could meet Feng Ruqing frequently in the future. Also, give my hairpin back to me. Feng Ruching paused for a while and stretched her hand out. Qin Shun was dumbfounded. I know it was you who took it. That jade hairpin was given to me by Nancian. It was a gift from Suyi. They came in a pair. I could give you something else if you want. In fact, Feng Ruching did not know that the jade hairpin actually belonged to the White Phoenix. The White Phoenix had nicked it from a master, but Nancian had taken it away from the White Phoenix together with other treasures and gave them all to Feng Ruching. Nancian had even told Feng Ruching that it was a gift from his mother. Hence, Feng Ruching had no idea that the jade hairpin belonged to the White Phoenix. You never wear other hairpins beside this. Qin Shun merely frowned. Chainer, Feng Ruching said, helplessly. Qin Shun could not help but take out the jade hairpin and hand it over to Feng Ruching reluctantly. Feng Ruching broke into a smile. Standing nearby, Luo Li's dazed face changed. A look of disbelief and shock crept into her eyes. Wait, what did I just hear? Nancian? Chapter 790. A friend will never let you down. Xiaoqing. Luo Li turned her head stiffly and stared at Feng Ruching. Sponsored content remove ads? Nancian. Is your lover that you told my grandmother about before? Is he Mu Nancian from the Mu family? His name is Nancian, not Mu Nancian. Feng Ruching's face darkened a few shades. Luo Li heaved a sigh of relief. She did not want Feng Ruching to get together with Nancian, as Nancian's marriages had been called off twice. There must be something wrong with him. Hence, Nancian was no match for Feng Ruching. Shortly after, Luo Li was dumbstruck by Feng Ruching's subsequent remark. Because Mu Ling is not worthy of being his father. Sponsored content remove ads? Luo Li's face was drained of blood. She held onto Feng Ruching's arm, anxiously. Xiaoqing, listen to me. You must not get married to Nancian. Why? Because. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly as she hesitated whether to tell Feng Ruching the truth. Nancian has been dumped twice. If the rumor is true that he is a rare talent, why would those ladies called off the marriages? Luo Li could not bear seeing such a gentle and kind lady being left in the dark. Hence, she told Feng Ruching, earnestly. Perhaps, Nancian was not as stunning as his portrait or was impotent. If that was true, how could he make Feng Ruching happy? Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruching was dumbstruck by Luo Li's remarks. It seemed that Nancian's reputation had been pretty much ruined. Qin Chen's gaze fell on Feng Ruching's face. What have you done to his betrothed again? First, it was only Tang Yin. Now there is another lady. Didn't Tang Yin fight that lady? After a while, Qin Chen asked, bashfully. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know who his betrothed is this time. It has nothing to do with me. Feng Ruching subconsciously took a few steps backward. Qing, you truly have no idea how many ladies would fall for you. Don't be too gentle to them in the future. Otherwise, you can never get rid of them. The corner of Qin Chen's lips lifted. Sponsored content remove ads? Previously, Tang Yin had called off the marriage with Nancian. Now, Nancian was being dumped once again. It must have something to do with Feng Ruching. Now that Feng Ruching was here in Tianqin Manor, Luo Li had come into the picture too. Feng Ruching was truly a flirting expert. She was even better than men. Am telling the truth, I don't know his second betrothed. Naturally, I couldn't have done anything to her. Feng Ruching's face darkened. All right, this must have nothing to do with Qing. She did not ruin Nancian's reputation. Hearing Qin Chen, Luo Li stared at Feng Ruching in bewilderment, wondering what Nancian's engagements had to do with Feng Ruching. Xiaoqing, what did you do to them? Luo Li's eyes suddenly lit up. Can you guide me on how to chase my rivals away so no one would hound my little fox? Although Luo Li trusted the little fox, she did not want other foxes to hound it. The little fox told Luo Li that it would go back to her and marry her when it finally turns into a human. I have told you. I didn't do anything. Don't you believe me? Tang Yin looked for me in Lu Yun Kingdom because of Nancian. I truly have no idea why she had suddenly called off the engagement. It had nothing to do with me. Moreover, Feng Ruching did not know that Tang Yin was actually Nancian's betrothed in the first place. Well, it was true that you did nothing, but Tang Yin has been hounding you day and night, wanting to marry you. Qin Shun smiled brightly. Chapter 791. Once again, Luo Li stared at Feng Ruqing in awe. Perhaps, of all the people in the world, only Feng Ruqing was capable of turning her love rival into Nan Xian's love rival. She would definitely drive the people of the Mu family mad if they knew this. Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruqing was rendered speechless hearing Qin Chin's remarks. How embarrassing. Could you stop talking about it? It seemed that Feng Ruqing had truly ruined Nan Xian's reputation. Thinking of this, Feng Ruqing turned her head around to look at Luo Li. Nan Xian really has a bad reputation in Tianxin Manor? Feng Ruqing asked with a low voice. Sponsored content remove ads? Luo Li nodded desperately as she spoke. Previously, Nan Xian had been rejected once. It was Tang Yin's grandfather who had gone to the Mu family to call off the engagement. He was nearly killed by the people of the Mu family. Fortunately, Tianshan Manor had a strict rule. Hence, they let go of him finally. Tang Yin's grandfather. Isn't he the first elder of the Tang family? Feng Ruqing was startled. She had never thought that the first elder of the Tang family would personally call off the engagement. It was no wonder people of the Mu family were so mad. Originally, not many people in Tianshan Manor knew about this betrothal. When Tang Yi had called it off, it had rocked Tianshan Manor. Although Feng Ruqing did not know how Tang Yi got into Tianshan Manor, she felt grateful for the things that he had done. She felt grateful for whoever created a stir in the Mu family. Sponsored content remove ads? The second annulment is even more awful, said Luo Li with a bright smile. The manor master, Gu Shi, personally went to the Mu family. Simply no one knows what had actually happened. The only thing we know was that Gu Shi had lost his temper as if someone in the Mu family had deceived him. Hence, this was once again widely spread in Tianshan Manor. That was not all. Luo Li paused before she continued. Before that, the Mu family had arranged many concubines for Nan Xian. After Gu Shi had created a stir in the Mu family, everyone knows that there is something wrong with Nan Xian. Since then, some clans with strong foothold in this realm did not want to let their daughters step into the Mu family and had broken off the betrothals. On top of that, their daughters would only be Nan Xian's concubines. As for those clans without a strong foothold, the Mu family would never even have spared a glance at them. Currently, only Qin Fei still maintained the arranged marriage. It was no wonder that the Mu family still had good ties with the Qin family. Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruqing was rendered speechless once again. This thing really had nothing to do with her. However, if she told Nan Xian that she was not involved, would Nan Xian trust her? The people of the Mu family had been keeping the manor master, Gu Shi, in the dark that they are selecting concubines for Nan Xian. Hence, when Gu Shi found out about it, he was furious. I knew this since the very beginning as they have approached me before. However, my grandmother doesn't want me to be a concubine. Hence, she did not accept the arranged marriage. Luo Li looked hard at Feng Ruqing. Later on, the old lady thought of marrying Luo Li to Nan Xian as she wanted to get someone to take care of Luo Li. However, she would never let Luo Li be a concubine. The old lady thought that since Nan Xian had lost his reputation and many people had broken off the marriage arrangements, the Mu family might agree to make Luo Li Nan Xian's first wife. However, now that Luo Li was in love with the little fox, she would not marry someone whom she had never met before. Fortunately, the old lady did not accept the arranged marriage with Nan Xian. Otherwise, Luo Li would have lost a friend, Feng Ruqing. That was by far the most fortunate thing that had happened to Luo Li. Luo Li was different from Qin Fei and the rest. She would never lose her mind over a stunning face in a portrait and be trapped by a scheme arranged by the people of the Mu family. All of these ladies had good family backgrounds, but were willing to be Nan Xian's concubines. Had the men in the world gone extinct? Chapter 792. It seems that Mu Ling is quite a fool and terribly greedy. Feng Ruqing furrowed her brows, unsure of how to feel. Sponsored content remove ads? The manor master had the loftiest power in Tianshan Manor, but Mu Ling had actually arranged marriage with the manor master's daughter for Nan Xian, but at the same time, also selecting so many concubines for Nancian? He was no doubt seeking his own demise. Yes, he is. The old master of the Mu family was the one who had built up the entire Mu family and had established a strong footing in this realm. Later on, the Mu family had strengthened its foothold with the marriage between Lady Suyi and Mu Ling. However, the Mu family had gone downhill since Lady Suyi left the Mu family. Luo Li pursed her lips disdainfully. Perhaps, the people of the Mu family did this as they were worried about losing their power. The people who have accepted the arranged marriage had accepted because of Nancian. As Lady Suyi was so ethereal and otherworldly, perhaps Nancian would not be that inferior to her. Hence, they thought that the Mu family's status would be even higher in the future. Since none of you have met Nancian before, do you really believe in the things that Mu Ling had said about Nancian? Sponsored content remove ads? We haven't met Nancian before, but the Manor Master had. Even the Manor Master holds Nancian with such high regard. No one would doubt the things that Mu Ling had said. Moreover, Mu Ling said that Nancian would return to the Mu family one day. Naturally, Mu Ling would not lie about this. Otherwise, he would lose his reputation. The Manor Master, Gu Shi, had once asserted that Nancian would be the strongest in Tianshan Manor. Perhaps, he would be more powerful than Tianya. Naturally, the ladies out there looked forward to being married to Nancian. They were so eager to step into the Mu family even though they would end up being concubines. Oh, Feng Ruching answered, weakly. The people in Tianshan Manor were nothing but a bunch of fools. They had believed all of Mu Ling's deceitful words. The state preceptor was really something, but he belonged to Feng Ruching. Oh yeah, Shao Qing. I thought you said that the person you love only has a mother? Luo Li stared blankly at Feng Ruching. Sponsored content remove ads? Well, to them, Mu Ling is dead. Just treat him as if he is already dead in the future. Why? Although Lady Suyi had left the Mu family in a fit of despair, Mu Ling said that Nancian has always been filial and obedient to him. Startled, Luo Li looked more and more confused. Don't let Nancian hear this. Otherwise, he would tie Mu Ling to the city's gate and whip him to show his filial piety. Feng Ruching sneered. One Nancian had always been filial to Mu Ling. That was total nonsense. Mu Ling had upset Nancian, so why would Nancian be filial to him? All of us had been fooled by Mu Ling. How dare he lie to the people of Tianshan Manor? He truly does not fear that things might get out of his hands? The corner of Luo Li's mouth twitched. Sponsored content remove ads? Shao Qing, Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. You must be careful of the people of the Qin family. Qin Feier is desperate to marry Nancian. Now that many people have called off the betrothals to Nancian, perhaps she wants to be Nancian's first wife. Previously, as Gu Yi was the Manor Master's daughter, no one had dared to fight with Gu Yi. Now that the Manor Master had broken off the marriage with Nancian, the Qin family was no doubt the strongest among the rest. Qin Feier would give up. Luo Li's grandmother said that the Qin family would resort to any means and might inevitably put Feng Ruching into trouble. Qing, Luo Li is on good terms with Qin Feier. Qin Chun subconsciously held onto Feng Ruching's hand and glanced at Luo Li. That was the reason why Qin Chen did not want to talk to Luo Li in the Qin family. Had it not been for the fact that Luo Li could take him out to meet Feng Ruching, he would not have spared a glance at Luo Li. But Luo Li's face darkened. She was afraid that Feng Ruching believed in Qin Chen's words, so she explained, hastily, No, I am no longer on good terms with Qin Feier. Chapter 793. A friend will never let you down for, since when? Feng Ruching turned to look at Luo Li. Sponsored content remove ads? It happened just now, in Paramount. I literally broke up with her. It was because, as compared to Qin Xiaoya, Luo Li could never be Qin Feier's kin. Even if Qin Feier knew that Luo Li was injured, Qin Feier did not avenge Luo Li but had advised Luo Li to be more considerate and never stir up trouble, so Qin Xiaoya could marry Luo Li's father successfully. Since childhood, Qin Feier had always been guiding Luo Li like an elder and had taught her to render good for evil. However, Luo Li disliked Qin Xiaoya. Who does she think she is? Why must I humor Qin Xiaoya? She knew that my arm was hurt, but she didn't let me go. Am I not a human too? I was on good terms with Qin Feier before. We were friends since childhood. As I was thoughtless and insensible back then, Qin Feier had always guided me to be kind to others. Hence, I would bury all my grievances even if I was wronged. She told me that I would lose all my friends if I fought back. In order to be lovable, I must be gentle and sensible. Sponsored content remove ads? I trusted her so much and treated her like my dearest sister in the world. However, who cares about my sorrow? It is not my fault. Why must I take a step back? When I have finally grown up, I didn't want to step back anymore, but she wouldn't stop guiding me. Moreover, I was afraid that her health would worsen if I ignored her words. Hence, I put up with all the nonsense before her and would only settle scores when she was not around. My mother gave me a jade pendant before she passed away. I wore it when I went out a few years ago. When Mu Huan saw it, he wanted to take it away from me. I refused to give it to him, but Qin Feier stopped me. She wanted me to be generous and never fight him. She said that she would give me another jade pendant when I returned home, but that was my mother's. I knew that I was no match to Mu Huan. So, I asked my father to get it back for me. Back then, Luo Li's father had not fallen for Qin Xiaoya yet. Naturally, he had defended Luo Li. However, the things that Qin Feier had done had broken Luo Li's heart. If Luo Li must be so generous to give her mother's jade pendant away so that everyone would love her, then she did not want to be a lovable person. Sponsored content remove ads? If not for that strong friendship with Qin Feier, Luo Li would have cut Qin Feier out of her life back then. However, once there was a fissure in a relationship, be it a friendship or romantic relationship, it would never be as strong as it was before. With just a small trigger, the relationship would fall apart. Apparently, Feng Ruqing was the trigger. When Luo Li was overwhelmed by grief, it was Feng Ruqing who had walked over, pushed Qin Feier away, and got her away from the crowd. Unlike Qin Feier, Feng Ruqing did not advise Luo Li to forgive others. She simply helped Luo Li, silently. Perhaps that was what a true friend really meant. Indeed, Qin Feier is an all-rounder. I am no match for her. Everyone likes her so much, but I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be wronged anymore. Sponsored content remove ads? Thinking of all the grievances buried in her heart, she could no longer hold back tears. Luo Li, a friend would never let you down. Feng Ruqing stared solemnly at Luo Li. Feng Ruqing was right. A true friend would never let you down. I understand it now. Perhaps, Qin Feier has never treated me as a friend since the beginning. I was just flattering myself. It doesn't matter. I don't care about her anymore. I don't like people who don't care about me. Chapter 794. Don't worry, there are many ladies out there in this world. Qin Feier is nothing. Feng Ruqing reached out to stroke Luo Li's head. Sponsored content remove ads? Dumbfounded, Luo Li wiped off her tear and broke into a smile. Feng Ruqing spoke as if Luo Li was dumped by her lover. You are right. There are so many ladies in this world. Moreover, I am pretty. I am sure I will be able to make new friends. However, I will never be overly tolerant of others in the future. Luo Li was overly tolerant with the people she had met when she was with Qin Feier. Initially, some of them were sincere to Luo Li. As time went by, they started to take everything Luo Li did for granted. They could never accept it if Luo Li stopped resigning to herself. Speaking of which, it's true that I am Qin Feier's friend, but I have broken off the friendship I had with her. Luo Li snorted and turned to look at Qin Chen. Sponsored content remove ads? You are Qin Feier's brother. You can't cut her out of your life, can you? If that is the case, then I am closer to Shaoqing than you. Qin Feier was Feng Ruqing's love rival after all. Luo Li would not hesitate to take Feng Ruqing's side, but what about Qin Chen? Could he break off with Qin Feier? I will never break off with Qin Feier in my life. A glimmer of wickedness flashed in Qin Chen's eyes. Beaming with pride, Luo Li glanced at Qin Chen and turned to look at Feng Ruqing as if telling her, look, I am more reliable. Because Qin Chen paused for a while. Even if she is not my sister, she is my enemy. Qin Shun could never get rid of Qin Fair-sponsored content remove ads? Can this rascal finish all his words without pausing? Hearing this, Luo Li's face stiffened. She felt a sudden burning embarrassment for her behavior. How she wished there was a hole before her so she could hide herself. 1 inch, are you sure you can do it? Fair said that she is very close to you, and that she is your only kin. She really said that? Qin Yu's eyes were full of doubt. Qin Shan had no idea when he began to get close to Qin Fair. Even if Qin Shan did not hate Qin Fair back then, he had never liked her. Now that Qin Fair had become Feng Ruking's love rival. Naturally, Qin Shan would never get close to Qin Fair. Luo Li nodded desperately. Sponsored content remove ads? Qing is the only kin in my life. The corner of Qin Chin's lips curved into a sneer. Chainer, have you thought about this? Perhaps your biological parents are still alive, and you could find your origins. Feng Ruqing grabbed hold Qin Chin's hand tightly. Having you in my life is a gift. I don't need anyone else. Qin Chin smiled. Because I have you in my life, and that's enough for me. You have lightened up the sky and brightened up my world. There's nothing else that I want in my life. Chainer. Feng Ruqing was stunned. Then, I will listen to you. If I find my biological parents, I will meet them if you want me to do so. Is that all right? Qin Shan paused for a while and stared at Feng Ruking's face. Luo Li's eyes were fixed on Qin Shan. Although Luo Li had known Qin Shan for years, he had always been cold and nonchalant. Now, the way he was treating Feng Ruqing was completely different. He had never treated Qin Fair like this before. If Qin Fi knew this, she would be furious. Would she still be gentle, kind, and generous? Luo Li could not wait to see what would happen to Qin Fair when she lost her mind. Chainer, it's getting late. You should go back. Feng Ruqing looked at the sky and then at Qin Shan. I will stay here for a while, and you can meet me any time. All right, Qin Shan said, reluctantly. Chapter 795. Qin Shan knew that he might put Feng Ruqing into trouble if he stayed there for too long. Hence, he glanced at Feng Ruqing before he turned to leave. Sponsored content remove ads? Soon after Qin Shan left, Luo Li, too, left Feng Ruqing as Luo Li could not bear to leave the old lady alone in the manor alone for too long. When Luo Li returned to the Luo family, the manor was a mess. The old lady was holding her heaving chest as she raged and hit the crutch on the ground, hard. She could hardly stand upright. Standing helplessly nearby, Luo Fei wanted to help the old lady to stand, but the old lady swung her crutch and hit the back of his hand. Grandmother! Flying into great panic, Luo Li rushed over. Her furious gaze was fixed on Luo Fei. Sponsored content remove ads? What have you done to grandmother? Luo Li used to call Luo Fei her father, but she had stopped now. Her eyes were blazing with furious rage. Liar, I have brought someone to treat your grandmother, but she has turned us down. Since you are her most beloved granddaughter, please help me to persuade her, Luo Fei said, helplessly. Stop acting. I will find a cure for grandma's illness. I don't need your help. Luo Li snorted as she helped the old lady toward the backyard. Luo Fei's face stiffened. He stood behind both of them, watching them leave. The sight cast a chill all over his body, freezing his blood and piercing his heart. Sponsored content remove ads? Luo Fei, Qin Fair has helped me get Grandmaster Hairong to treat the old lady. Unfortunately, the old lady has turned us down. Hence, it has nothing to do with me. The corner of Qin Xiaoya's lips curved into a sneer. Originally, Qin Xiaoya had never thought of getting Grandmaster Hairong to treat the old lady, as she knew that the Grandmaster Hairong had a lofty temperament. Naturally, Qin Xiaoya was not capable of getting him to help. Previously, she had promised Luo Fei to get the Grandmaster Hairong to treat the old lady, so Luo Fei could not bear to part with her. Fortunately, the old lady had rejected them. Otherwise, she would have to think of an excuse to postpone it. I will convince my mother. Even if she is angry with me, she must not risk her life in a fit of anger. Luo Fei smiled, wryly. Qin Xiaoya squinted. Suddenly, the lady who had taken Luo Li away from Paramount flashed through her mind. Thinking of this, her lips curved into an evil smirk. Sponsored content remove ads? 1-inch Luo Fei, you should keep an eye on Xiaoli. I saw her together with a strange lady today. Xiaoli has grown up. She has the right to choose her friends, Luo Fei said after hesitating. Qin Xiaoya's face darkened a few shades. Luo Fei had always been tolerating all the wrongdoings that Luoli had done. Luoli was nothing but a young lady who had no filial piety and did not know how to respect the elders. Why did Luo Fei always indulge her? If Qin Xiaoya were Luoli's mother, she would have beaten the crap out of Luoli. Luo Fei, I will be Liar's parent in the future. Since you have a one-track mind, I must take good care of her. She has the right to choose her own friends, but she must not hang around with disagreeable people. Otherwise, she would be led astray. Don't you think Liar has changed a lot recently? Luo Fei merely frowned. Qin Xiaoya was right. Although Liar disliked Qin Xiaoya, she had never shown it on her face and had never disregarded her father. Luoli had always been cordial and obedient. Simply no one knew when she had changed. Chapter 796. Gui of the Gu family too. Besides, don't you know what kind of person Feier is? That dubious woman did not like Feier appearing in front of Liar, so she pushed Feier to the ground. Luckily, Feier is a lot stronger now. If anything happens to her, do you think Grandmaster Hairong will let that woman go? The relationship between Feier and Mu Huan has always been great since childhood. You need to think carefully about many things. Sponsored content remove ads? Moreover, Qin Xiaoya frowned. Liar's behavior has hurt Feier. I have persuaded Feier to stay away from Liar several times. However, Feier is soft-hearted. Hence, she did not listen to me. She had always treated Liar like her younger sister. She is even nicer when Liar treats her even just a little better than usual. But in the end, Liar still abandoned her. Luo Fei pursed his lips, discomfort written on his face. Maybe there is a misunderstanding between Liar and Feier. They just have to resolve the misunderstanding. Liar is the kind of person who knows how to distinguish right from wrong. He would defend Qin Xiaoya in front of Luoli. However, he could not bear Qin Xiaoya criticizing Luoli. These two, one was the person he loved and the other one was his own daughter. He only hoped that they could get along with each other peacefully. Even if they could not treat each other like loved ones, he hoped that at least they would respect each other. Luo Fei, Qin Xiaoya's eyes showed hatred. I am telling you all these for Liar's sake? You. Sponsored content remove ads? I know that you care about Liar, but she has her own freedom. Even if that girl is really bad, the Luo family doesn't have any dealings with her. However, I can't stop Liar. Especially when his daughter was already ignoring him now. If he continued this, Liar would really hate him forever. At the chief manor, compared to the tranquility of other manors, the chief manor was totally out of control and had become a scene of turmoil. Gui held the celadon high in her hands. She stared at the middle-aged man in front with her big eyes. You won't let me go? Gu Shi's heart was about to stop beating. He was about to cry. My little devil, can't you just put down the thing in your hands? Sponsored content remove ads? Crash. The celadon was smashed onto the ground, hard, breaking into a million pieces. Then she tore down the painting on the wall and stared angrily at Gu Shi. Will you let me go now? My dear daughter, what are you going to do? Gu Shi finally cried, desperately. Fortunately, there were no other people there. Otherwise, his reputation would be ruined. I want to go out and leave this horrible place. Sponsored content remove ads? Gu Shi was aggrieved. Little devil, this is your home, the place where you have grown up. Why do you say that this is a horrible place? Rip. Gui tore the painting. The painting that Gu Shi had spent a lot of money on was ripped into half. He was so distressed that his whole body twitched. I don't care. I'm leaving Tian Shun Manor. I'm going to Lu Yun Kingdom. I'm going back to Lu Yun Kingdom. Gu Shi's mouth twitched twice. His baby girl had just left the house once. How could this not be her home anymore? What was so good about Lu Yun Kingdom? Was it better than her own home? Gui had raised another celadon vase high up in the air. Just as she wanted to smash it, Gusher spoke. Little devil, can you tell me why you want to go to Luyun Kingdom? She was silent for a moment. Because the woman I like is in Luyun Kingdom. The woman she liked woman. Chapter 797. Woman? Sponsored content remove ads? Gusher was shocked. You are a woman. How can you like women? Xiaoyin told me that men are inconsiderate, unlike women who are gentle and kind. Who is Xiaoyin? Oh, she is Nanxian's ex-fiancée, the one whom the Mu family had arranged for him before. Gu Shi was too stunned to speak. Did Gu Yi know Nanxian's ex-fiancée? Was Gu Yi led astray by her? No. Sponsored content remove ads? He could not let Gu Yi leave Tian Shan Manor again, lest she would really never marry a man in the future. The person you like. Who is it? Gu Shi hesitated before he asked. He had already decided to tell the guards to stop that girl from entering Tian Shan Manor. Otherwise, she would inevitably take away his baby daughter. Gu Yi snorted. The person that Xiaoyin and I like has been snatched by Nanxian. Xiaoyin is right. Nanxian is a vixen that seduces innocent girls, especially those that resemble Manor Lady Xiaoqing. Gu Shi was speechless. He was confused and needed a moment to think rationally. Did you just say that Nanxian has found the girl he likes? Sponsored content remove ads? Well, if Nanxian liked that girl, then his baby girl would have no chance. He had to start searching for a new husband for Gu Yi to prevent her from being hurt. Father, please let me go. I want to leave Tian Shan Manor. Xiaoqing has already abandoned us and ran away with Nanxian. If I don't leave now, it won't be long before Xiaoqing forgets me. Gu Yi had just managed to lose weight. She wanted to appear in front of Xiaoqing with a different appearance to impress her. Yet, she was tied to Tian Shan Manor by her father before she could do it. Too bad that she was not Tang Yin, whom Xiaoqing was already familiar with. It was said that Xiaoqing's memory was not very good. If she did not appear in front of Feng Ruqing for a long time, she would be forgotten by Feng Ruqing. Little devil, you will be 18 years old soon. Can you leave after your birthday party? She had no chance to leave. Sponsored content remove ads? He must find her a good husband before her birthday. There were many excellent men in Tian Shan Manor. Many of them had very good temperaments. Moreover, he did not need to worry about Gu Yi not marrying. After all, she had become very pretty now. Wait, Gu Shi suddenly thought of something. He hesitated before he asked, You should answer me first. Does Nanxian have a girl whom he likes? Gu Yi nodded. Xiaoqing is very beautiful and gentle. Furthermore, she is also very talented. Nanxian does not deserve her. Nanxian was a fickle bastard who still philandered with other women, although he already had Xiaoqing by his side. Was he eligible to be Xiaoqing's husband? Gu Shi's face darkened. His eyes were filled with anger. Mu Ling. He gritted his teeth furiously as if he wanted to hack Mu Ling into pieces. Mu Ling, you asshole. How dare he lies to me? He has lied to me more than once. When Mu Ling had come to propose the marriage, he had immediately agreed without giving it a second thought because Nanxian was indeed good enough. But the main reason was that Nanxian did not have any wife. However, he did not expect Mu Ling to secretly look for so many concubines for Nanxian. How could his daughter endure such things? He was still very furious, although the marriage had already been cancelled. If it were not for the Mu family's old master, he would have gone to settle accounts with Mu Ling by now. Not to mention that Nanxian already had someone he liked. After all, he had never liked the Mu family. He only liked Nanxian. Chapter 798. Nanxian already had someone he loved. Even if he was forced to marry his daughter would suffer and be unhappy in the future. Sponsored content remove ads? At that time, he had also asked the Mu family regarding this matter, but Mu Ling had quickly denied it. Now he realized that he had been deceived all along. Father, if you really love me, you should let me go. Otherwise, I will burn Tian Shan Manor someday. Gu Yi said as she gritted her teeth. Gu Shi calmed down. He then turned and said, You said that she is in a relationship with Nanxian. that she will follow Nancian to Tianshan Manor one day. It will be the same if you wait for her here. I will bring you to her after your birthday. Okay. Anyway, he had made up his mind to send some people to the gate and not allow that girl to enter Tianshan Manor. Really? Gui looked at Gu Shi in surprise. When have I ever lied to you? Gu Shi smiled, gently. Sponsored content remove ads? Gui was slightly silent. Well, it's only half a month until my birthday. I will leave after my birthday. Oh yes, if you want to find Xiao Qing for me, remember to ask those people in the chief manor to treat her nicely. If anyone dares to disrespect Xiao Qing, I will run away from home. You will never find me again. Gu Shi wiped away his bitter tears. He finally understood the meaning of the phrase. A grown girl could not be kept at home. But the one who made him experience it was a woman. Do you think I'm that kind of person? Don't worry. I will order the people at Tianshan Manor to treat her respectfully. As long as she did not come to Tianshan Manor to hurt his daughter, he would even call her father. Sponsored content remove ads? He only had a daughter. He was still waiting to hug his grandson. How could his dream be shattered by just one woman? Oh. Gui curled her lip and slurred over the matter. Gu Shi's face stiffened. Was he so unreasonable in his daughter's heart? You have been back for a while. Would you like to go outside? He wanted everyone in Tianshan Manor to see his daughter's charms and make those who had looked down on her regret it. No. Gui was listless. I don't want to meet those people. They are not as beautiful and gentle as Xiao Qing. They also won't even praise me for being beautiful like Xiao Qing is. Moreover, there is no one here who can talk to me about Xiao Qing like Xiao Yin. What's the point of going outside? Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruqing was the only one who had praised her when she was about 250 pounds. That warmth was deeply engraved in her mind. Now, even if those people accepted her, it was just because of her appearance. They were so hypocritical. She felt disgusted when she saw them. Gu Shi looked at Gui's figure walking toward the hall. He felt a sense of danger in his heart. It seemed that his little devil really loved that girl. No, he had to find someone to distract her. Gui! An elder walked in from the door and put his fists together, respectfully. Manor Master. Go and find out which family's sons have not implicitly taunted Yi when she was obese. He thought of Gui's words and paused. He then continued. He must look good and has a gentle temperament. He must also praise her all the time and be able to talk about that girl. Xiao Qing with Yi. His family background is not that important, but the other criteria that I have mentioned is a must. Gui was speechless. Manor Master, your request is too hard to fulfill. Even those in Tianshan Manor cannot meet those requirements. 1. Chapter 799. Gu Yi of the Gu family v. Gu Shi's face darkened. What are you still doing? Quickly go and check it out. If Yi sets a fire on Tianshan Manor, you shall rebuild it yourself. Sponsored content remove ads? At this moment, he really wanted to resign. The task given by the Manor Master was impossible to be accomplished. Gui immediately recovered from his thoughts when he saw Gu Shi's gradually darkening face. He then said respectfully, Yes, Manor Master. The Manor Master was really a ruthless man. At that time, the Manor Master was very dissatisfied with the former Manor Master. Therefore, he had killed him and replaced him as the Manor Master. But now he was always tormenting them. Sponsored content remove ads? Gu Yi did not know that Feng Ruqing had come to Tianshan Manor, so she felt depressed every day. Although her birthday was approaching, she was not excited about it. She was listless. Let me in. I'm the second young lady of Tianshan Manor. At the main gate of the chief manor, and Chui, who was wearing ragged clothes with disheveled hair, looked haggard. She glared angrily at the people in front of her. Her token was stolen the other day. She could have followed Gu Shi back to Tianshan Manor while Gu Shi was still there then, but she had chosen to stay for Nancian's sake. She was even too scared to ask Gu Shi for another token. She feared that she would be forcibly brought back to Tianshan Manor. Too bad that all her money was used up before she could find Nancian. She had initially wanted to use spirit herbs to exchange for some money. However, She never thought that those people would not accept it. She wondered if the group of people in the secular world were stupid. They had missed a great opportunity to buy spirit herbs. She could not even sell the spirit herbs at low prices. Sponsored content remove ads? And Shui always felt that there was a mastermind behind all the things that had happened to her. That person seemed to be intentionally tormenting her. She had no other choice. She could only return to Tianshan Manor. Nonetheless, those people did not know her. Hence, they had stopped her from entering Tianshan Manor since she did not have a token. She had been wandering outside of Tianshan Manor for a few days. She planned to wait for someone whom she knew to bring her back. However, she was stopped once again when she walked to the chief manor. This time, Shui was completely furious. "I'm sorry," the Imperial Guard said, calmly. "There is only one young lady in our manor. You." Shui was angry. She glared at the Imperial Guard. Shui, the manor master is my uncle. How dare you stop me? I will tell my uncle to drive you out. Sponsored content remove ads? The Imperial Guard sneered. "Oh, so you are Manor Ladian. But I didn't know that you were the second young lady of Tianshan Manor. By the way, Ladian has been driven out by Manor Master. You should leave too." And Cui's eyes widened. Was Mother thrown out of the manor? What had happened when she was not in Tianshan Manor? Ladian is currently staying at Heaven Inn at Northern Street. If you want to know the reason, you can just go and ask Ladian, the Imperial Guard said with a straight face. And Shui gritted her teeth. Her wicked eyes scanned the Imperial Guard's face. She clenched her fists and turned around slowly. She then headed toward Northern Street. She would definitely walk into the chief manor fairly and squarely again one day. She wanted those who had looked down on her to regret it for life. Feng Ruching had just bought a pack of medicinal seeds at the herb shop. After that, she bumped into two people as she was coming out of the herb shop. The man's facial features were quite feminine. His embroidered long robe could not cover the fact that he was a scumbag. Mu Shi did not expect to meet Feng Ruching in Tianshan Manor. He stopped. He was surprised at first, then his face eventually filled with smiles. Chapter 800. Hey, it's you. We meet again. It must be fate. Sponsored content remove ads? Luoli was already following Feng Ruching without waiting for her to speak. She had just taken 2 steps forward when she suddenly saw Mu Shi and Mu Huan standing in front of her. One was soft, and the other was cold and arrogant. "What are you doing here?" Luoli held onto Feng Ruching's sleeves firmly. Somehow, Feng Ruching felt that Luoli's hands were shaking. "Lady," Mu Shi slowly stepped forward. He smiled. "There is an amazing connection between us. What about joining us for lunch at Heaven Eye?" Feng Ruching was bewildered. She thought for a moment, but could not remember anything about the man. "Do I know you?" Sponsored content remove ads? Mu Zai's smile froze. He then continued to laugh. "We have met each other in the forest of spirit beasts before. You may not remember me. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Mu Shi, the only young master of the Mu family." He deliberately emphasized the 2 words, the only. Any smart woman would know what to choose. The surrounding atmosphere around the girl was cold right after he said that. "Are you from the Mu family?" Since coming to Tianshan Manor, she knew that she would meet the Mu family sooner or later. However, she never thought that this day would come so fast. Sponsored content remove ads? Xiao Qing. Luoli turned her head and looked at Feng Ruching anxiously. She just felt that the current Xiao Qing was a bit intimidating. Feng Ruching smiled. "I am not interested in anyone from the Mu family. Get out of my way." Mu Zai's face darkened. "Lady, so you are not doing me this honor?" She kept saying that she was not interested in the Mu family. Did she not already devote herself to Nanxian? Was it not because Nanxian was of the Mu family's blood? Unfortunately, she had miscalculated. He was the only young master of the Mu family. Nanxian would lose out sooner or later. He was giving her a chance, but she had not cherished it. Sponsored content remove ads? Honor. Feng Ruching laughed. "Why should I? If you want me to join you for lunch, okay, kneel down now. You shall kneel and get to the gate on your knees." Then, Maybe I will think about it. Mu's eyes face completely changed. He no longer had that friendly smile and his face was clouded. Hey girl, don't think you can do whatever you want just because Nancian is protecting you. You are nothing in Tian Shun manner. Nancian? Mu Huan glared at Feng Ruqing coldly. Oh, so this was the girl whom Nancian liked. There was nothing special about her. She was just a contentious and useless woman. If Nancian liked that girl, so be it. Nancian was not insightful, so he would never find a good girl. Why did Mu Huan also fancy her? I have told you. Kneel down immediately. Suddenly, many vines rose behind Mu Shi, pulling down on his knees, hard. He lost his stability and kneeled in front of Feng Ruqing. Mu's eyes face was covered in cold sweat. Compared to the pain, being ashamed and humiliated were more intolerable. He clenched his fists. His face was pale and his eyes were like a poisoned dagger glaring at Feng Ruqing. Bitch, do you want to die? Feng Ruqing stared down at Mu Shi, who was kneeling in front. I have already told you. If you want me to join you for lunch, you have to kneel and get to the gate on your knees. Only then I will think about it. Since you can't do it, I don't even need to think about it. You just need to kneel. Chapter 801. Mu Huan's face stiffened. She wanted to help Mu Shi to his feet, but he was entangled in the vines. She had already tried her best to pull him back up, but it did not work. Sponsored content remove ads? There was no other way. She then pulled out her sword to cut the vines and did not care whether it would hurt Mu Shi or not. However, Mu Shi was still entangled in the vines. Lady, this is Tianxin Manor. Her face darkened looking at Feng Ruqing. Don't be too presumptuous. Luo Li was angry. She arrived in front of Feng Ruqing and glared angrily at Mu Huan. So, what if it is Tianxin Manor? Mu Huan, I have always been tolerating you because Qin Feier told me to, but this time I can't bear it anymore. As long as I'm here, don't you and the Mu family dare touch her. Mu Huan's face was cold. Her indifferent eyes scanned Luo Li's face. Luo Li, the quality of the friends that you make are getting lower and lower. How can you even be besties with such a person? Sponsored content remove ads? You! Luo Li's little face turned red. Feng Ruqing quickly pulled her back before she could say anything. There was a slight grin on the girl's face. That grin had a certain air that could make one shudder. But such a person can make your Mu family kneel in front of me. If the young master of the Mu family is worse than me, then what kind of a person is he? Mu Huan's eyes darkened. You better not go too far, girl. Give yourself some room in whatever you do, just in case we may meet each other again in the future. Oh, Feng Ruqing smiled. Rest assured, I will still make him kneel and talk to me the next time we meet. Mu Huan was speechless. Sponsored content remove ads? Did this girl not understand people's words, or did she look down on the Mu family? Get out. The vines suddenly tightened, and Mu Shi was being pulled up from the ground. Then he was flung out through the air before he landed in the crowd. She then looked at Mu Huan. You want to leave on your own, or would you prefer me throwing you out? Mu Huan's body stiffened. She clenched her fists and stared at Feng Ruqing coldly. Then she turned and walked toward Mu Shi. Sponsored content remove ads? Luo Li was relieved when these two people finally left. Xiaoqing, why did you suddenly launch an attack on Mu Shi? I was really scared just now. She was afraid that Mu Huan would have fought back. Mu Huan was clearly a person who was afraid of losing face. Therefore, she did not dare to fight back in the public. Otherwise, she did not know if she could withstand Feng Ruqing's attacks. Let's go back. Although Feng Ruqing seemed calm on the outside, her heart was filled with fear and worries. If she was given another chance, she would still do the same. Chapter 802. Sister, are we really going to let her off so easily? Mu's eyes face darkened. Sponsored content remove ads? Do you think that that lady is capable of controlling the vine? There must be a spirit beast with her. As I don't know how powerful that spirit beast is, I dare not to fight back. Since she is Nanxian's lover, Nanxian would definitely have gotten some spirit beasts to protect her. Mu Huan glanced at Mu Shi. Therefore, that spirit beast must be really something. Damn, it is that rotten bastard, Nanxian again. Mu Shi clenched his fists tightly. If I can't get Nanxian's belongings, no one can. She must pay for the humiliations I have suffered today. Sponsored content remove ads? Mu Ling and Qing Yin were waiting respectfully at the main hall of the Mu family. A priest-like elder stood before the two of them. He had a ruddy complexion, although his hair had turned gray. Grandmaster Hai Rong. What happened to my father? Seeing the elder lost in thought, Mu Ling was growing more anxious. The elder did not utter a word. After a long while, he said, helplessly, I've looked at the old master, but I have no idea what kind of illness he has. Can you please give me some time? Or, Hai Rong paused for a moment before continuing. I heard that there is a rare talent in Paramount who is capable of making herbal dishes. Perhaps she could find a way to treat the old master. Sponsored content remove ads? Everyone in this realm was only capable of simmering herbs, and none of them could make herbal dishes. There were powerful health benefits when herbs were added to food. Hence, herbal dishes could yield twice the results with half the effort. Perhaps that rare talent was the only one who could save the old master. Unfortunately, Hai Rong was not capable of getting even the slightest bit of information about the divine physician Qing Xian from those of Paramount. Could you please stay longer to treat the old master? With a dry feeling in his throat, Mu Ling's eyes were filled with despair as he smiled wryly. Grandmaster Hai Rong had once said that he would never treat anyone in this realm. Otherwise, Mu Ling would not have to spend so much effort to get the divine physician from the manor master to treat the old master all these years. Sponsored content remove ads? But this time, the old master had lost his consciousness and his strength was depleting. Mu Ling really had no other choice but to turn to Grandmaster Hai Rong. Moreover, Mu Ling must never let others know about this. Originally, Grandmaster Hai Rong had fully repaid the Mu family's kindness by taking Mu Huan as his apprentice. Fortunately, Grandmaster Hai Rong possessed a strong sense of righteousness. Hence, he had agreed to Mu Ling's last request and treated the old master. All right, for the sake of that lady, I will stay for a few more days. Grandmaster Hai Rong smiled. Oh yeah, where's that lady who was with you back then? Is she your younger or elder sister? Why is she not here today? Currently, Mu Ling already had a lady. Although this lady was just a concubine, as Mu Ling cared for her so much, she must not be as simple as she seemed. Moreover, this lady had a son and a daughter with Mu Ling. Perhaps, the lady back then was Mu Ling's sister. After so many years, that lady must have been married to another young master. Feeling awkward, Mu Ling did not know how to answer. At this time, Qin Qingyin, who was standing nearby, took a few steps forward with a smile on her face. My sister has left Tianshan Manor a few years ago and has not come back since. Hence, she does not know that you are here. Otherwise, she would definitely come to see you. Chapter 803. She is your sister? Then, her surname must also be Chen. Back then, she had told me that she would visit me when she is free. She did visit me for the first few years, but she has stopped doing that. She did not even come when you sent Huaner to me. As I don't like leaving the mountain, I haven't met her for years. Hai Rong smiled. Sponsored content remove ads? Sui had never told Hai Rong her name. When she had visited Hai Rong back then, Hai Rong had always been discussing something about medical and spirit herbs with her. Hence, he had forgotten to ask her for her name. It was such a pity. Previously, she has helped me out when I was in trouble. Hence, I owe her a favor. Technically, I have repaid her kindness for accepting Huaner as a disciple. However, since that lady is your sister-in-law, I will try my best to cure the old master. Since when had Sui become Mu Ling's sister-in-law? Mu Ling's face darkened a few shades, as he did not know why Qing Yin would say that. However, since Hai Rong was still there, he did not ask Qing Yin. Sponsored content remove ads? I'm exhausted. You don't have to take care of me. I just need to get some rest. Hyrong got up with a smile on his face. After a while, he paused and he said, "Oh yeah, let me know if that lady is back. I have a lot to discuss with her." As soon as Hyrong finished his words, he walked out of the main hall. Only when Hyrong had disappeared in the distance, Mu Ling regained his focus and asked, "Qingyan, why did you tell Grandmaster Hyrong that Suyi was your sister?" Sponsored content remove ads? Chun Qingyan pursed her lips as her eyes reddened. "Brother Ling, you know Grandmaster Hyrong very well, who is capable of handling him if he loses his mind. What if he sides Suyi and refuses to treat the old master? I am worried about the old master. It is fine if he misunderstands Huaner and me." Hearing this, Mu Ling did not say anything. Moreover, Grandmaster Hyrong had vowed to stop treating anyone in this realm. He has agreed to treat the old master for Sister Suyi's sake. I did this because of the old master. Since the old master had treated Sister Suyi so well and had hurt me because of her, I am sure Sister Suyi will not be mad at me if she finds out about this. I believe that she is not an ingrate. Chun Qingyan innocently raised her tearful eyes. Sponsored content remove ads? In other words, Qingyan was telling Mu Ling that since the old master had treated Suyi so well, no matter what Qingyan did in Suyi's name, she must not hold grudges against Qingyan. Otherwise, Suyi was nothing but an ungrateful wretch. Hearing this, Mu Ling felt a little relieved and finally relented. We truly have no choice in saving the old master. However, as Grandmaster Hyrong lived high up in the mountain previously, he knows nothing about Suyi. Now that he is here, he might be able to hear something about Suyi. That would be something we need to consider in the future. Currently, the old master's health is the top priority. Chun Qingyan smiled softly as she leaned against Mu Ling's chest. Hyrong has always treated Mu Huan so well. Moreover, Mu Huan had stayed with Hyrong for more than 10 years. The relationship between a master and disciple would naturally be stronger than the friendship between Hyrong and Suyi. Currently, Qingyan could only keep Hyrong in the dark, and if she could no longer hide it from Hyrong, she would get Mu Huan to calm Hyrong down. She believed that Hyrong would never expel Mu Huan from the sect. However, Mu Ling sighed softly. "I feel sorry for Suyi. Hyrong owes Suyi a favor, but I have asked him to take Huaner as a disciple to repay her kindness. Qingyan, Suyi will be back for the old master's birthday. Get Huaner to treat Suyi better. After all, Huaner would not have been able to make it this far without Suyi." Chapter 804. This time, Mu Ling had finally said something sensible. Sponsored content remove ads? Originally, Mu Ling had never thought of making Mu Huan Hyrong's disciple. However, Qingyan had constantly groaned and murmured that Huan Er was wasting her talent if she could not get a good master. Moreover, Mu Huan had a passion for medicine since she was little. Hyrong was not only a divine physician, he was also an extremely omnipotent warrior. Otherwise, he would not have been highly respected in this realm. Hence, Mu Ling had decided to make Hyrong Mu Huan's master. Sponsored content remove ads? Originally, Hyrong did not want to take any disciple. However, he had accepted Mu Ling's request as he owed Suyi a favor. With Mu Huan's own strength, she would not be able to make it this far without a renowned master. Hence, it was all because of Suyi. However, Chen Qingyan disagreed with Mu Ling. Her daughter had accomplished something with her own effort and had nothing to do with Suyi. "Brother Ling, Nanxian has always been haughty. Even if you want to make him Hyrong's disciple, he would not have agreed. Hence, Huaner is the most suitable disciple for Hyrong." Chen Qingyan lowered her eyes to hide the resentment brewing in her eyes. "Nanxian doesn't need a master. He is the best talent that I have ever seen. Otherwise, I wouldn't have tolerated him again and again for the things that he has done to the Mu family and wanting to get him back." Mu Ling merely smiled. Sponsored content remove ads? Nanxian was the only one who turned out to be a rare talent out of the two young masters in the Mu family. Although Mu Huan's strength was much stronger than Mu Shi, there was no lack of talent in Tianshan Manor. As Mu Huan was Hyrong's disciple, She had made remarkable progress in medicine. As for her cultivation, even the strength of the young lady in the Luo family, Luo Li was better than her. Currently, Luo Li was no match for Mu Huan as Luo Li was too young. Luo Li was merely 14 years old after her birthday, whereas Mu Huan had reached the age of 19. She was turning 20 soon. Qing Yin, Huaner has reached the age of marriage. I have contemplated this. If the divine physician Qing Xian of Paramount is not a male, or there is no way to get him to marry Mu Huan, I will arrange a marriage with Deity's Gate. Mu Ling narrowed his eyes. The daughter of the manor master is a fat lady. Hence, she could hardly step into Paramount. As for the rest of the families, Qin Feier would be Nan Xian's wife soon. The lady in the Luo family is too young while the Tian family only has an incompetent son. Mu Ling paused for a while. Sponsored content remove ads? Hence, Huaner is the best choice. The person you want Huaner to marry is... Chun Qingjian's eyes lit up as she looked up at Mu Ling. The young master of Deity's Gate who helms Paramount, Jiuming? Mu Ling smiled. 1 inch. Although Jiuming has told everyone out there that he is the young master of Paramount, everyone knows that he is actually the master of Paramount. He is no doubt the perfect match for Huaner. Huaner would be the lady of Paramount, and she could easily command the divine physician. At this time, Mu Huan heard Mu Ling's words at the door of the main hall with Mu Shi in tow. Her cold face changed suddenly. She quickly pushed Mu Shi away and walked into the main hall. I won't marry him. Huaner. Father, I want marry Jiuming. Mu Huan's eyes were filled with disdain. I heard that Jiuming has a hideous countenance. He has frightened countless women to death. That's the reason he covers his face with a mask. Do you really want me to marry someone who looks like a ghost? Chapter 805. Your master said that only the divine physician of Paramount is capable of curing your grandfather. Mu Ling's face darkened. Sponsored content remove ads? Since he only cares for Sui and Nanxian, let Sui marry Jiuming. I will never marry him. Mu Huan smirked. Huaner, stop this nonsense. Sui is your mother after all. Anger crept into Mu Ling's face. As Mu Huan had always been lovable, Mu Ling simply did not know why she had said that. Hearing this, Chen Xingyan panicked and shot Mu Huan a warning gaze. Sponsored content remove ads? Father, you have always thought that I could make it this far because of Suyi and want me to respect her. That is total nonsense. I have become Hai Rong's disciple with my own effort. Mu Huan sneered. She did not notice Chun Qingjian's signal. It was Mu Huan's own effort, and it had nothing to do with Suyi or even the Mu family. Why did her father always think that Suyi was behind all these? After all, an old lady who had no tolerance for others should never be respected. Previously, Mu Huan had always been respectful to Mu Ling as she was highly favored and deeply loved by Mu Ling. Moreover, her strength was not strong. Hence, she must rely on the Mu family. Currently, she was a disciple of great Master Hai Rong, and even her father dared not to mess with her master. Hence, she must chase her own happiness. Moreover, why must she respect a lady who had taken someone else's husband away? Sponsored content remove ads? Huaner, apologize to your father. In a fury, Chen Xingyan slapped Mu Huan's face as she said, anxiously. Mu Huan's face reddened from the slap. The corner of her lips lifted a little as she stared disappointedly at Chen Xingyan. Mother, I am not a coward like you. You have always been thoughtful to her even though she has taken your dearest husband away. She even made you a concubine. I have seen you crying a few times at night. You are too considerate and care too much for her reputation. However, everyone knows that she has run away with another man. Even so, father still cares for her. Why are you still defending such an unfaithful lady? Hearing this, color drained from Chan Qingjian's face. She raised her hand, wanting to slap Mu Huan again, but her hand paused in midair for quite a while. Read more chapter on VIP novel. Calm Chan Qingjian's face was covered in tears. Her eyes were filled with dejection. Her body shook with sorrow. Sponsored content remove ads? Originally, Mu Ling was furious. However, Chun Qingyan's reaction was as if a sword was pierced his heart, tearing his heart apart. He quickly rushed over to hug Chun Qingyan. 1-inch Qingyan, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't know that you have always been defending her reputation. I have truly neglected you. I am such a bastard. I promise that I will make you one of my principal wives. Is that all right? At this moment, Mu Ling's mind was filled with Mu Huan's words. He had never thought of whether or not his promise would infuriate Suyi. It turned out that Qingyan had always been acting to be strong every time when she was with Mu Ling. In fact, she felt so dejected every night. Qingyan was the only one who loved Mu Ling wholeheartedly in this world. How could Mu Ling break her heart? Huaner, you can leave now. This time, I forgive you because of your mother. No matter how much you hate Suyi, you must not show that on your face. Do you understand? Mu Ling turned to look at Mu Huan. Mu Huan merely snorted and turned to leave. When she walked past Mu Shi, who was lying on the ground, she did not notice that Mu Shi had nearly passed out from the pain. Chapter 806. Mu Ling and Chun Qingyan, who were still in the main hall, did not notice Mu Shi. Sponsored content remove ads? Suddenly, a loud cry was heard. Mu Ling and Chen Qingyan quickly regained their senses. Young master, are you all right? Mu Shi was on the verge of tears. He wanted to shout, but his voice was caught in his throat. Fortunately, someone had finally found him. Chun Qingyan turned her head around only to see Mu Shi lying on the ground, curled up in pain. His face was ghastly pale. Sierra, what happened to you? Don't scare me. Sponsored content remove ads? Go and get Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat him. Chen Qingyan rushed to the door anxiously. At your command, lady, the servant said respectfully and left. In the courtyard, Luoli had left. As soon as Feng Ruching sat down, a tender and soft body plunged into her embrace like a pendant hanging on her body. Sponsored content remove ads? Mother, I have missed you so much. With a bright smile, Qing Han put her hands around Feng Ruching's neck and kissed her cheek. Why do you wake up so quickly this time? Where is Fuchen? Feng Ruching held the little girl in her arms, the corner of her lips lifted. Brother Fuchen is still sleeping. Something has woken me up just now. What is that? Feng Ruching frowned as she asked. I have no idea. Something in the place that you went to today kept calling me. So, I woke up. Qing Han said, bewildered. Sponsored content remove ads? Do you know where is that place? It's 10 miles from the street where the herbal store is located. Qing Han nodded. Feng Ruching had a good grasp of the terrain in Tianshan Manor ever since she reached here. 10 miles from that street. Isn't that the Manor Master? No one is staying within 3 miles from the Manor Master. If Qing Han is right, that thing must be kept in the Manor Master. Lost in thought, Feng Ruching did not say anything for a long while. Mother, I want that thing. That poor thing keeps calling out to me and has woke me up from my dream. The spirit herb in my tummy has not been fully digested. Hence, my strength has not improved much. Qing Han pursed her lips, tears welled up in her eyes. Poor Qing Han. She was forcibly awakened. If she could not get the thing that had woken her up, that would be so miserable. Luoli said that her father has been busy preparing gifts for the past few days as the birthday of the manor lady in the chief manor is around the corner. I will get Luoli to bring me along. This time, you need to listen carefully to find out what is calling you. Seeing Qing Han's aggrieved face, Feng Ruching stroked her head gently. Qing Han stopped crying and broke into a bright smile. A dark blush rose in her cheeks. She looked extremely adorable. My mother is so great. Qing Han rubbed her face against Feng Ruching's. My good daughter, although you are not my biological daughter, since you call me your mother, I will take care of you. Feng Ruching pinched the Qing Han's face. I will always be cordial. I will listen to you and bite whomever you wish for me to bite. Both Qing Han and Fu Chun had been living on their own for years. Now that Feng Ruching had stepped into their lives, they would never have to suffer from loneliness and hunger anymore. As long as Feng Ruqing did not leave Qinghan, she would listen to Feng Ruqing and never make her angry. Chapter 807. Feng Ruqing held the little maiden tightly in her arms, the corner of her lips slightly lifted. Sponsored content remove ads? Sunlight shone down on both of them, covered with glistening rays of sunshine. The courtyard was extremely warm and peaceful. In the inner yard of the Qin family, Lady Qin, when Yes' eyes lit up as she saw Qin Xiaoya. Sponsored content remove ads? Xiaoya, what happened to you and Luo Fei? When you walked up to Qin Xiaoya, slowly. Hearing this, Qin Xiaoya could not help but feel resentful and gritted her teeth. That old fart of the Luo family is really stubborn. His daughter too is shameless. Luo Fei is nothing but an old fart who has lost his wife. It is a blessing that I am willing to marry him. Who do the people of the Luo family think they are to stop me? When you furrowed her brows as she looked at Qin Xiaoya resentfully. Xiaoya, if Luo Fei knew that you were infertile because of the miscarriage back then, do you think he would have wanted to marry you? Qin Xiaoya's face darkened as she clenched her fists tightly. She could not get married all these years because she was infertile. In fact, she had fallen for a young master when she was young. When her father found out that the young master was powerless, he had beaten the young master to death. However, Qin Xiaoya had slept with the young master and had gotten pregnant. She even had a miscarriage because of the whole incident. Sponsored content remove ads? Then, Qin Xiaoya's father had locked her up in a fit of anger and did not allow anyone to visit her. Only when she could no longer hold on, her father released her and got a physician to treat her. However, the physician had actually told Qin Xiaoya something that she could not accept. She could never bear another child for the rest of her life. Xiaoya, don't forget this. No one in this world would marry you besides Luo Fei. Well, if Luo Fei had known about this, you might never have had a chance to get married. When you forced a smile as she said, Sister-in-law, if you have something to say, you can just tell me. You don't need to beat around the bush. Qin Xiaoya's face changed. I know that Luo Fei is giving a piece of grade 6 rare spirit herb to Gu Yi as a birthday gift. Do me a favor. Replace it with poison. When Yes' eyes were full of resentment. Sponsored content remove ads? Panicking, Qin Xiaoya raised her head to look at Wen Yu. Sister-in-law, what are you doing? This is something that your brother wants you to do, but he did not manage to tell you. Hence, I am here to convey his message. Don't you ever forget how your father died. It was the old lady of the Luo family who killed him. Initially, the Luo family has lost its foothold in this realm. However, since Gu Shi has taken the helm of the Luo family, they had slowly regained its foothold. When you sneered, your brother cannot accept this. Why should the Luo family still live a carefree life? Luoli has even hurt Feier's heart in the Paramount a few days ago. Feier had been treating Luoli so well, but she had actually bullied Feier. This time, even if we could not bring the Luo family down, we must stir up a conflict between the Luo family and the Manor Master. Gui's birthday was a good chance. Gu Shi had never thrown Gui a birthday party all these years. Hence, the Qin family did not have a chance to set the Luo family up. If the Luo family gifted Gui poison on her birthday, Gu Shi would no doubt explode with rage since he cared for Gui so much. But what if we fail to frame the Luo family? Do you think that the Manor Master would think that the Luo family wants to harm them? They would think that someone has framed the Luo family. Qin Xiaoya's lips quivered as she took a few steps backward. Chapter 808. Keep out 2. Rest assured, we are going to replace the grade 6,000 odds ginseng fruit that the Luo family is gifting to Gu Yi with violet leaf ginseng fruit, which looks similar to it. The violet leaf ginseng fruit is poisonous. One would die immediately after consuming it. However, we will not wipe out the entire the Luo family. When you smiled faintly, Sponsored content remove ads? Seeing Qin Xiaoya's pale face, when you continued, I would task someone to explain to the people of Manor Master that the Luo family does not know spirit herb well and has bought the wrong spirit herb. The people of Manor Master would only think that Luo Fei is a fool. Qin Xiaoya pursed her lips tightly and did not say a word as Qin Xiaoya would marry Luo Fei. What would she get in return by stirring up a conflict between the Luo family and the Manor Master? Furthermore, she had never thought of avenging her father. If not for her father, she would not have gotten pregnant and still remained single for years. Xiaoya, think about this. If you don't do me a favor, I will tell Luo Fei about your miscarriage. He will dump you. When you walked up to Qin Xiaoya, as she said with evilness in her voice, sponsored content remove ads? Hearing this, color drained from Qin Xiaoya's face. She knew that when you was threatening her, the thing when you said was something that she wanted to hide at all costs. If someone knew this, her life was ruined and she would lose her chance at happiness. I was such a fool back then. I thought that nothing in this life counts but love. I have made a big mistake and I truly regret it. Why are you threatening me with that? Qin Xiaoya truly regretted the things that she had done back then. Not only did she lose her lover, her life was ruined. Sponsored content remove ads? She would never fall for one's physical appearance ever again. She would look into the difference in family backgrounds. She would only marry someone with equal social status in the future. Otherwise, her elder brother would never let her lover off easily. As a young lady of the Qin family, she must not marry to an underdog. Otherwise, she would ruin the reputation of the Qin family. Xiaoya, you are my sister-in-law. Naturally, I will not threaten you. I am just asking whether you are in or out. If you are out, don't blame me for being ruthless. When you held onto Qin Xiaoya's hand as she smiled gently, her smile was no longer as evil as before. Qin Xiaoya closed her eyes slowly. Luo Fei was her last chance. She did not want to remain single for the rest of her life. Moreover, if someone knew about her miscarriage, she would no longer be able to stay in Tianshan Manor. Sponsored content remove ads? Alright, I'm in. Sister-in-law, are you sure that you just want to stir up conflict between the Luo family and the Manor Master and would never put Luo Fei in trouble? Qin Xiaoya opened her eyes slowly. Her face was ghastly pale. You said that the Manor Master is not a fool. He will not believe that Luo Fei wants to harm Gui. He would only be mad at Luo Fei's foolishness. After all, if no one in the Manor Master notices that Gui was poisoned, the Qin family would not sit back and do nothing. When you smiled, all right, it's a deal, but you must promise me that you will never threaten me with this in the future. Qin Xiaoya clenched her fists. Sure, I promise. When you lowered her eyes to hide the wickedness in her eyes. Qin Xiaoya did not speak further and merely glanced at Wenyu, strangely. Then, she walked, slowly, toward the garden behind her. Chapter 809. Not long after Qin Xiaoya left, a young master could be seen coming from behind Wenyu before standing right at the place where Qin Xiaoya was standing earlier. Sponsored content remove ads? Did she agree? Qin Li's face was cold and filled with disdain. If Qin Xiaoya was not Qin Li's biological sister, she would never have admitted that the lady who had lost her chastity was his sister. The corner of Wenye's lips lifted. She was still staring in the direction which Qin Xiaoya had left. All right, I will find a way to stop the physicians from showing up at the feast. After pondering for a while, Qin Li said, by doing this, no one would notice that there was something wrong with the spirit herb. Will we get Xiaoya into trouble by doing this? When you asked, anxiously. This time, she was worried about Qin Xiaoya. Sponsored content remove ads? She is not part of the Luo family. Naturally, she would not be in trouble. No one would know that she was the one who changed the spirit herb, Qin Li said, nonchalantly. In fact, what he wanted to do was not to just stir up conflict between Luo Fei and Gu Shi. All he wanted to do was wipe out the entire Luo family and take down the Manor Master. Well, how sure are you that Gui will eat the spirit herb on the spot? After a while, when you asked, leave that to me. However, even if Gui does not eat it on the spot but later on, Gu Shi will definitely know that Luo Fei was the one who has harmed Gui. Gui is Gu Shi's everything. Gu Shi would definitely lose his mind if something were to happen to Gui. Perhaps he might even take his own life. Qinli sneered. Gu Shi did not deserve to be the Manor Master of Tianshan Manor. Since Gu Shi could helm Tianshan Manor by killing the former Manor Master, others could do the same to him. Perhaps Xiaoye truly thinks that you hate the Luo's family and you do this to avenge your father. When you smiled, faintly. Sponsored content remove ads? Hee. I am just making the Luo family a convenient scapegoat. Gu Shi is not capable of helming the Tianshan Manor after all. Qin Li's lips curved into a sinister sneer. Previously, he did not do anything to Gu Shi as he had not made a breakthrough. Even if he brought Gu Shi down, someone else would be at the wheel. However, this time was different. Qinli was the only one who deserved the Manor Master of Tianshan Manor. The night wore on. The chief manor was bustling with noise and excitement. Brilliant lights blazed all night. Countless spirit beasts could be seen at the gate of Chief Manor. All the influential officials who did not want to offend the Manor Master's command. Therefore, they stopped at the gate of Chief Manor and put their spirit beasts next to the gate. They were greeting each other with smiles on their faces. Sponsored content remove ads? Mu Ling pulled the reins and got off the green horse. Then, he put his arms around Qinjian's waist and carried her down the horse. Qingyan, be careful, don't fall down, Mu Ling said, softly. Chun Qingyan smiled bashfully, buried herself in Mu Ling's embrace, and got off the horse. Walking after both of them, Mu Huan furrowed her brows together with a look of haughty disdain. Suddenly, Mu Huan paused. Her cold gaze was fixed at a familiar figure not far away as her hands balled into fists. Why is that humble lady here? Huaner, what's wrong? Noticing that something was wrong with Mu Huan, Chun Qingyan turned her head around and asked. Nothing. Mu Huan was burning with fury, but she did not tell Chun Qingyan anything. Moreover, she simply could not do anything to that lady, even if she told Chun Qingyan. Chun Qingyan had always been treating Nanxian like her own son as she was acting generously. Apparently, that lady was the one who had hurt Mu Shi, rendering him bedbound until now. Chapter 810 Originally, Mu Ling had wanted to avenge Mu Shi in a fit of anger. However, Chun Qingyan had stopped him because of Nanxian. Sponsored content remove ads? Did Mu Shi deserve the suffering? Who was Chun Qingyan's son? Nanxian or Mu Shi? Chun Qingyan knew why Mu Huan was infuriated. She glanced at Mu Huan helplessly and shook her head. Her own daughter was too impulsive and was lacking scheming skills. Mu Ling knew that Nanxian would never let go of Feng Ruqing. Hence, he could not kill her. Moreover, the Mu family needed Nanxian. Mu Ling must not mess with Nanxian. Hence, Chun Qingyan could not help but pretend to be generous. By doing this, not only would Mu Ling feel bad for Mu Shi, he would hate Nanxian's lover. It would do Chun Qingyan good and not harm. Sponsored content remove ads? Why aren't you letting us in? Just as Chun Qingyan lost in thought, Mu Ling's furious voice spoke. She quickly regained her senses. There were 2 guards guarding the chief manor's gate with cold and stern faces. The manor master said that the Mu family has deceived everyone in this realm and has ruined his reputation. Hence, none of the people of the Mu family can attend the manor lattice birthday feast. Hearing this, Mu Ling's face turned crimson. Everyone around Mu Ling was dumbstruck after they had heard that. People who attended the feats were all influential and powerful officials. Now that all of them had witnessed the whole incident, what was going to happen to the Mu family's reputation? Sponsored content remove ads? Brother Ling. Chen Qingyin seemed rather flustered as she looked at Mu Ling. Go and tell the manor master that I am here today for the manor lattice birthday. It seemed that have been some misunderstandings between the manor master and the Mu family. I am here to offer my apologies. Mu Ling's face darkened. This is the manor master's command. The manor master did not say that there were any misunderstandings between the chief manor and the Mu family. The Mu family has deceived the manor master. Hence, none of the people from the Mu family can step into the chief manor. The guard sneered, sarcastically. Mu Ling wanted to say something, but the people behind him were starting to get restless. He had no choice but to give way to the people behind him to get into the chief manor. Brother Ling, what can we do now? Sponsored content remove ads? Seeing the people bustling around the chief manor, Chen Qingyin bit her lower lip, her eyes filled with dejection. I don't know what Nan Xian has done that has infuriated the manor master. This is about the Mu family's reputation. Now that everyone knows that the manor master has kept us out of the chief manor, they might laugh at us behind our backs. Qingyin is right. This unfilial Nan Xian must have infuriated the people of the chief manor. Not only has he made the Mu family a scapegoat, he had ruined the Mu family's reputation. This unfilial son has arrived at the Mu family for his due. Mu Ling clenched his fists tightly. Mother, Gu Shi does not deserve to be the manor master after all. Why should we fawn on him? The Mu family is not inferior. Moreover, my master is with us. Mu Huan smiled, sarcastically. Mu Huan would never fawn on anyone. Although the Grandmaster Hai Rong had always lived by himself and had not gained a foothold in this realm, his strength was really something. Huaner, Chen Qingyin panicked and warned hastily. You must not say this again in the future as it might reach the manor master's ears. Your master has always been living a carefree life and free from any desire for fame and wealth. He has spent his whole life studying the art of healing. Even if he was omnipotent, he is not capable of helping the Mu family. Do you understand? Chapter 811. Keep out V. Moreover, Grandmaster Hai Rong hated anyone who did anything by misusing his name the most. Sponsored content remove ads? Therefore, there was no exception for Huaner to be forgiven even though she was his disciple. Making Huaner Hai Rong's disciple was merely adding another protection to her, as this would prevent others from looking down on the Mu family. However, that would not bring any benefit to the Mu family. Mu Ling harumphed coldly as his eyes darkened. He stroked his sleeves and walked toward the moonlight. Before he left, he turned and looked at the brightly lit, dazzling chief manor as his eyes were deeply filled with grudges. Xiaoqing, what happened? Sponsored content remove ads? Somewhere inside the chief manor. Luo Li turned her head and looked at the young girl who stood beside her. Her eyes seemed blanked. Feng Ruqing drew her eyes back from the main door as the corners of her lips lifted slightly. Nothing. I have just watched a drama. She shook her head. Oh. Luo Li said nothing more as her face brightened into a broad smile. Suddenly, she noticed Feng Ruqing was staring at something. She followed her line of vision and saw a young man standing in the moonlight not far away. The young man was tall, handsome, and his eyes were gentle. Just like the melting snow, his face seemed cold, but also at the same time, exuded a sense of the warmth of sunlight. Ching, as usual, with a warm smile on his face. The young man's voice was bright and clear as the person who stood in front of him was the sunshine in his heart that had driven all his gloomy feelings away. Sponsored content remove ads? Chainer, you're here too? Yeah, I'm here because I know you would be here too. Chainer. A soft and gentle voice came from behind Qin Chen. Qin Chen's warm smile completely faded as soon as he heard the voice. An obvious impatience and coldness dawned on his face as he frowned a little. Qin Fei slowly approached Qin Chen with the support of her servant. With a light smile, She turned to look at Luo Li with her bright eyes. Liar. You're here, too? Sponsored content remove ads? Luo Li humphed and did not bother to pay attention to Qin Feier. Qin Feier's face stiffened as she seemed to be forcing a smile on the corners of her lips. She then turned to look at Feng Ruqing again. Lady, I didn't expect to meet you again that soon. You had left in a hurry when we were in heaven last time, and I hadn't even had the time to learn your name. I'm Qin Feier, Luo Li's best friend and Qin Qin's elder sister. She seemed to be declaring her higher status even though her voice was still gentle. After all, Luo Li had always been trusting her after all those years. Would their feelings for each other fade away that easily? Luo Li was just slightly pissed off that they would make up after a while. Qin Feier enough? Luo Li looked cold. You keep on saying that I'm your best friend, but have you ever treated me like your friend? All these years, you've been nagging at me as if you're the senior. For all the wrongs I've suffered because of you, is it not enough? Xiao Qing's right. A true friend will never let you have a chip on your shoulder. You don't deserve to be my friend. Suddenly, Qin Feier's face paled as she stared at Luo Li in shock. She felt she was staggering as she could not stand on her feet properly. Liar, did you just say that? I haven't been treating you like a friend? Qin Feier closed her eyes as the agony got more and more intense. If she had not treated Liar as her friend, she would not have asked Liar to be tolerant of the others. No matter what dispute had Luo Li got into, she would only ask Luo Li to concede. That was because she understood that Luo Li would never get mad at her. In contrast, Luo Li would act differently to others. She was afraid that their friendship would end if she could not even maintain their friendship superficially. Chapter 812. If they were not close and familiar enough with each other, would she ever do this? Sponsored content remove ads? Luo Li pursed her lips and thought. Perhaps she was blinded before to feel that Qin Feier was quite a good friend. Now she had the feeling as if she had fed and brought up a dog. Luo Li, Feng Ruqing's voice was sluggish as she spoke lazily that night. I'm hungry. Let's find a place and rest. Okay. Luo Li then turned back. Indeed, a true friend should be someone like Xiao Qing, not someone who always asks me to be tolerant of others. Sponsored content remove ads? Stop right there. Just as Luo Li stood up and wanted to leave, the little servant next to Qin Feier strode forward and said angrily, Lady Luo, Our Lady has been pouring her heart out to you, but you're treating her like this? It's ridiculous, as Our Lady has always been looking after you. Lucia. Qin Feier's face was pale as she growled. Stop your nonsense. It was chief manner here. If she really came to blows with Luo Li, it would be seriously harmful to the Qin's family reputation. She would never be tolerant of a servant behaving in such an unbridled way. Miss, feeling wronged, Lucia pursed her lips and turned to look at Qin Feier. It is apparent that it was Lady Luo who has gone too far, and also the woman near Lady Luo. We don't even know her identity, as she's merely a nobody who comes from a low-status family. Without any prior notice, Lady Luo had suddenly brought her into the chief manor, and that would definitely offend the chief manor's lady. Qin Feier looked terrified as soon as she thought of this. Sponsored content remove ads? She would not care much if Feng Ruqing was Luo Li's little servant. However, she was a stranger who came from nowhere, as Luo Li had suddenly brought her into the manor, which would definitely stir up trouble in the Luo family. Moreover, Gu Yi was quite a short-tempered person. If she got angry and provoked Luo Li might not be able to stay in Tianshan Manor, even if she wished to. Luo Li, Qin Feier frowned. As she felt like speaking in a condescending tone, the young man next to her had already vanished when she wanted to teach him a lesson. The youth was already in front of the servant when she regained her composure. A strong wind swept under his sleeves and immediately sent that girl flying away. Bang! Sponsored content remove ads? Suddenly, she landed in the crowd. and the noise around the chief manor subsided. It was so quiet that the sound of a falling needle could be heard. The crowd stared at the servant who had fallen to the ground, surprised. Then, they lifted their heads, and their eyes landed on the young man's handsome face in shock. "Chainer, you!" Qin Fei's pretty eyes widened as she stared at Qin Shun in disbelief. Why? Why did Chainer suddenly hit and teach her servant a lesson? Lu Xia was her servant. If he wanted to beat a dog, he should have been aware of the dog's owner too, much less the countless number of powerful forces and people around here. How could she keep her reputation after this incident? The young man's robe was bathed in the cold moonlight. Looking dull, he stomped on her mouth mercilessly. It was so painful that Lu Xia's tears almost broke free. Looking pitiful as her pleading eyes were flooded with tears, she could not even make a sound when she looked at Qin Fei. Qin Fei looked slightly pale. "Qiner, what on earth are you doing?" "Lu Xia, she's my servant, and I know you're fond of liar. If Lu Xia has said anything wrong, I'll apologize on her behalf. Now, let go of her." Qin Shan frowned a little as he glared coldly at Qin Fei. That glare was piercing cold, enough to make Qin Fei tremble a little, which Qin Fei had never seen before. Chapter 813, I Have Nothing to Do with Luo Li. Sponsored content remove ads? Qin Fei looked surprised at first before she sighed in relief. She had no idea as to why he had turned into such a person too. However, "I do not like you." He still sounded indifferent when he spoke again, without leaving any leeway. Indeed, Luo Li had nothing to do with him. The only thing was that Luo Li was the person whom Qingqing liked. He would regard anyone who Qingqing liked as a friend. As for now, anyone who humiliates Qingqing was the only thing that he forbade. Chainer, Qin Fei looked ghastly pale as he lifted his head in surprise and stared at the youth before her. "I'm your sister." Sponsored content remove ads? The youth remained silent with his lips pursed. He looked cold and heartless. "Qin Shun." A cold sneer came from the back. In the blink of an eye, Luo Fei and Qin Xiaoye showed up hand in hand. It was loving sight filled affectionate feelings. Only that Qin Xiaoye's face was filled with an ironic smile at the moment. It's hard to imagine that you have already been bullying Fei when she has just recently left home. Have you forgotten that if it weren't because of the Qin family, you would still be a nobody who scraps for food from the streets? Would you have been able to enjoy such a luxurious life now? Upon hearing those words, the crowd who had laughed at the Qin family was rendered silenced again. The Qin family had brought up Qin Shun, who was abandoned by his parents and had nearly lost his life in the wild. Sponsored content remove ads? It was the Qin family that had adopted him and brought him up out of kindness. They had provided him the precious rank and honor, as well as a luxurious life for him to live. However, this Qin family's adopted son was too harsh on the Qin family's daughter. He was really a white-eyed wolf. Qin Shun has really gone too far this time. I've heard that the Qin family has brought him up, treating him like their own son. Qin Fei has been taking good care of him since he was young. It's really unexpected he would be doing this. He's being rude to his own sister just because of these two women. If a white-eyed wolf were in my house, I would have already beaten him to death long ago. The Qin family has helped him survive and has also provided him a life. Any human would have been grateful for that. Qin Shin, this is the first time I've ever encountered such a person in my life. Bang. Vines had already slowly crawled up to his legs when he was enjoying this talk the most. Sponsored content remove ads? Suddenly, the vines were wrapped around his body. Then, the vines picked him up and violently threw him away. Everyone stopped talking and subconsciously looked in the direction where the vines came from. The crowd clearly noticed that those vines were spread out beneath Feng Ruking's feet. Just like tentacles, the vines were moving in the night wind. Xiao Qing, Luo Li, who stood nearest to Feng Ruqing, naturally felt the pressure around her. She turned around with difficulty and stared at the young lady before her. The young girl looked as calm as water. However, she could feel a brewing storm beneath the calmness. "Chainer, come here." The young girl finally spoke. Qin Shan walked to Feng Ruqing obediently and stood next to her. It was the first time Qin Feier saw Qin Shan acting like that. She was shaken when she subconsciously looked at Feng Ruking's face. "Why are you keeping silent when other people are scolding you?" Feng Ruqing asked, calmly. Qin Shan was dazed. He never liked to defend himself and explain a single sentence to others as their words could never hurt him. He did not care about these. What he cared about was only her. In the future, fight back whoever that bullies you. My person is never meant to be bullied by others / nobody can ever bully my people. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.